Hey Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. What we're looking at today is my unsightly Band-Aid, which is covering an even more unsightly stove burn, so please excuse that. As we take a look at the Deluxe Edition Harley Quinn from Mezco's 112 Collective Action Figure line, my personal favorite action figure line of all time. We've got a really classy sleeve over the box here with some nice glossy diamonds on the front. On the side, we've got the now standard Harley Quinn logo, signifying that this is a comic book version of Harley Quinn. And then on the back, we've got some nice product shots. Let's see, not really any kind of biography or anything like that. It just explains what it comes with and what everything does. But we're going to take a look for ourselves to see all of that. Let me now slide the interior box out. And we've got, you can see a little piece of film here to protect the front window during shipping and whatever else. I'm going to set that outer sleeve aside and take a look at the contents here. Now, this is a deluxe figure, but it's not like John Wick Deluxe or like the Punisher Deluxe, where it comes with just an unbelievable ton of goodies. But as you can see, there's a lot of stuff loaded in here. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. And on the back, of course, we have that nice glossy Gomez, the Mezco mascot. No need for our friendly neighborhood box cutter on this one or our $1 fingernail clippers because, as we all know, Mezco's products come safely secured in multiple trays without the need for twist ties, rubber bands, or anything like that. So let's go ahead. Oh, here we have our disclaimer. These are not for children, and just break that down for you. All right, we have two trays with this figure. The tray underneath that has our storage bag that we may or may not use, and then the armature for posing in jumps or flight or whatever the case may be. I'll just set that aside for right now and take a look at the main event tray. Try to be relatively careful opening these up because you don't want hands and heads and little tiny pieces flying all over the place, as has happened to me in the past with these figures. And I'm going to try, just for you guys, to get through this review without dropping anything on the floor. We'll see how that goes. And you know what? I'm going to start right off here. Sometimes I take a look at the accessories first, but this Harley is so striking, I want to just get her out of that, and we're gonna slide that tray out of the way and just take a look at this incredible figure. You can see she's got this protective film here. We're gonna just pop that head off, get rid of that film. I'm gonna toss it to the side so it doesn't blow back into the shot. I did leave my fan on because I'm in Georgia and it's warm here, you guys. This is absolutely fantastic. This portrait with the smirk, this look, this is when most people talk about Harley Quinn, this is the look that they want. You know, people don't necessarily love, I like Harley in lots of different looks. I think she's an interesting character that can look lots of different ways, and I enjoy her movie look, her new comic book look. I like Harley in lots of different ways, but this tends to be the default for most people. And I gotta say, Mezco has done a fantastic job here. As you can see, the seams are very low profile, and this is a difficult costume to sew together. We've got a black, I think that's Tampo. I apologize, you guys. I am not necessarily always the most technical toy term guy, but I believe that's a Tampo on the red material to give it the red and black signature look. You can see on the back here she's sewn into the suit And, you know, sometimes there's nothing to do but just have these seams on these Mezco figures, and I think this is fine. It's pretty noticeable, but at the same time, at this scale, look at the way this fabric is on the character, on the figure. It looks amazing. I mean, it brings to mind that classic Alex Ross Harley Quinn and Joker painting. Just looks great. And as far as the articulation goes, you have to be a little careful with these guys because you never know quite where things are under those fabric suits. So the first time you start moving joints around, you've got to be really careful with which direction you move things. But as you can see, you've got a nice degree of bending there. Look at the little, her crazy little cuffs right there. I mean, this is actual fabric that's been folded together to form those little cuffs that Harley has. It's really amazing. We've got the one red glove, one black glove, the alternating look throughout. She's got her sort of Robin-looking boots, I guess you'd call them. What is this boot style called? If you know, drop it in the comments down there and let me know, because I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's a very specific look. We've got a couple of points of articulation in the torso here, down at the waist. You've got sort of a ball joint, and then right at the top of the abdomen. And this one's usually, it takes a little work to loosen it up on the Mezco figures, but you can see you've got, look at that, side to side, and then forward and back. Just tremendous. But always, when you're opening up one of these Mezco figures, always be very, very careful when you're moving those joints for the first time. You don't want to get carried away and yank something too hard or pull it out of place. But once you've got them loosened up, you should be pretty good to go. This is the female buck for Mezco, like a lot of toy lines, isn't quite as posable as the male. You can see the elbows and knees don't have quite the same range as the male figures do. And it's just one of those things that you got to deal with. And then, of course, the biggest challenge for Mezco is to get a little bit more out of their ankle joints than what they have now. What you see here is about as much movement as you get. You get a little bit of side to side, and of course, the peg that they're on allows for moving. But if you want to get a ton of poses out of these, they're not quite Marvel Legends level. But you're also, with this detailing, look at these fabric, the little puffies here. Everything is fabric. It's all soft goods. You know, this obviously is not a Marvel Legends figure. And I'm not buying it to throw around and get crazy poses out of. I gotta give them a lot of credit for how much range they get out of a single neck joint, though. Pretty impressive. All right, so the figure itself is beautiful. This is, I think, most people's default Harley, the one that they prefer, the one that they want. When people complain about her, you know, other costumes that she has, this is the Harley they want to see. And once again, let's take a look at that portrait and that smirk that she's got going on. The incredible paint under that little domino mask, her eyes, you can see her blue eyes there. Just really, really incredible work from the artists at Mezco. All right, so let's set her aside for a moment and take a look at the accessories included. Now you can see I'm not going to pull all of these out, but you've got a number of different hands for both sides. You've got a trigger hand. You've got a hand a little bit more open for holding larger items. So you've got an assortment of hands here, and they swap out very easily. I say that I'm having all kinds of trouble getting this thing off. Her little, I don't want to mess this up too much, so where I would normally grab these closer to the hand is a little tough to get to. But we're going to take that, and you can see just a very simple peg right there. Nah, we're not going to focus. But it pops right on. and they're sturdier than they look. These are very petite, dainty hands, and the pegs holding them on that, by the way, do have, if you can see right there, so you've got a good twist, and you can turn this around so that hand can be going in any direction you want. But for as dainty as those pegs are, they are sturdy. You know, be careful, but you don't have to be overly cautious or concerned about really messing them up. I'm really impressed with how well the fabric on this costume moves as you pose the figure. Really, really impressive job on that. All right, so she's got one hand ready to hold something. And of course, the first thing that we probably want to take a look at is Harley's signature comically huge sledgehammer that probably weighs almost as much as she does. You can see the handle is taped in red and black, and I love the irregularity of how it's done here. A crazy person clearly taped this up. I like that. It's a good look, and it's you know, it seems more real. It's not perfect. And then at the top here, you can see some wear on the head here where this thing has been through some stuff. It's been used. There are dents and crevices, and of course the paint job is really nice and makes it look worn as well. And that slides right into Harley's hand, and you've got Harley Quinn sledgehammer ready to go. Now, of course, that's not all, because this is a Mezco product, and they are lunatics about providing accessories. You've got her big cork gun. Let's see on the back, it says "For Batman" in crazy person writing. And it wouldn't surprise me a bit if this cork, yep, pops right out of there. You can see on the front, there is a bat symbol painted on, and then of course the hollow of the gun right there, no big deal. But and then the cork snaps right back in, and she has her loony weapon here. I love this. It's even got, I just noticed, it's even got the little Harlequin diamonds painted on right there. Fantastic. Again, above and beyond from Mezco. This is what they do. All right. We have a comical Looney Tunes style bomb with some lips on it, and then that fuse, which is painted to look lit at the top. You can see, I don't want to get too, there we go. You can see the paint job makes it look like it's lit. So we've got this crazy Wile E. Coyote style bomb. An adorable plush Joker doll. Again, one of those things, it's just a nice touch. And the way that it's sculpted, it can just hang from Harley's hand like that, like she's just carrying it around. It's got some stuffing coming out of the seams here. I really like this. Great look. And that's actual, you can see it's sculpted stitching on the eyes. You know, this isn't a specific prop from the comic or anything like this. It's just a neat extra that Mezco decided, hey, wouldn't it be great if she had a little Joker stuffed animal? And they did it. Let's see here. And of course, underneath, ooh, wow, let's take a look at this, because this looks extra fancy. I love the deco on this. Okay. So every 112 collective action figure comes with a stand, but the way they've done the paint on this one, the red portion almost glitters, and it's just the texture of the paint. It's not actually a metallic or glittery paint job, but it looks that way. It's a really nice effect they've created here by using the glossy black plastic that most of these stands are made of, and then just doing a relief of the red. Looks really, really nice. And of course the peg hole, it seems, if you take a look at this, that peg seems very short. it doesn't seem reasonable that it could hold a figure up very well. But it is kind of thick around, and if you take a look here, oh, look at this. The treads on Harley's boots. Again, that just above and beyond on the details. But we just plug that peg into the heel, and they fit in very, very securely. I know I'm holding it on here, but she's going to flop over if I don't. I have a pretty big collection of these 112 collective figures, and they don't come off of those pegs. They are balanced well, and that peg is exactly the right size to keep these figures in place for years and years and years. So they work really well, even though they don't necessarily look like they might be up to the job. And of course, that peg pops out. I'm not going to do it right now because I might risk scratching this up, but that armature plugs in where that peg goes, and you can pose Harley however you want, jumping through the air, whatever. All right, let's take a look now at the part of this that gave me the FOMO, that made me feel like I gotta order this Harley. I've got to have it, and that is her crazy rocket launcher. And it looks like this handle, yeah. Okay, so this handle is on a hinge. She's got a little kill count on the side here. So that handle, as she holds it, can have one hand here and one hand here. Very cool. Got the sight. And of course, you've got your rocket piece that plugs in right there. Absolutely awesome. Great looking piece. I'm probably going to use it with the more tank girl looking Harley that's coming out, but this is great. I had to have this. I love it. It's a different thing for Mezco. The only thing I'd say is I kind of wish it had come with 4 rockets to go in here, like even just the heads just to stick in as a piece. That would have been nice, but whatever. It looks great. I love it. And that little flip down handle, what a nice, again, above and beyond touch. And then finally, we've got a couple of alternate profiles, or alternate portraits, rather, for Harley. You've got another one with the Harlequin mask on, the maniacal laughter version, I would call it, where those big blue eyes are really, really apparent. The pearly whites with the glossy paint on the white teeth and on the eyes really, really bring this to life. Even the tongue there, because the interior of the mouth, of course, it's going to be shiny, it's wet, it's full of sadistic saliva, so to speak. And the great thing about these Mezco heads, as you saw a second ago when I removed that plastic film, is these things pop right on and off. Very easy to switch these parts out. Great. Man, that is a fantastic, crazy laugh Harley head. I can't wait to put her on the shelf next to Joker with a similar laughing head. And then finally, the last piece of this amazing set, an unmasked head. And I'm curious to see this one because it's not exactly what I would have done. So we're going to pop off old crazy head here and put on this final last one. And it's a much more somber expression on this one. Okay, I'm wondering if these are articulated. They don't seem to be. Okay, so anyway, the portrait looks fantastic. I love the smoky eyes. It's a really good look. It's amazing. But I kind of would have liked this head to look crazy as well. But what's interesting to me is if I wanted to, I could grab the movie Harley Quinn, the Suicide Squad one, and put one of those heads on this body. So there are a lot of cool, all of the 112 stuff is standardized. So if you have a female head, you can swap it onto any female body as of right now. It's a cool formula they've got here. So anyway, gosh, I really like this. The more I look at this one, the more I like it. And I kind of do like that this one's not laughing. It almost looks like she's taken off the hat and the mask, and it's time to get down to business. She's really up for something sick and twisted and sadistic. So there you go. We have got this great stand, rocket launcher, little Joker buddy, 3 different portraits, which all look excellent, sledgehammer, bunch of extra hands that I'm not going to bother with, crazy Looney Tunes bomb, and of course Harley's crazy cork gun. This is an amazing set. It absolutely is what I wanted from this Harley Quinn. Hey, go out and get one. Get it now before you can't find them anymore, because I think this is probably one of the 112 figures that's going to just skyrocket in price at some point. So thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more great toy reviews here on the Needless Things YouTube channel.